Okay, I've got to remove LinkedIn. That's fine. Go live on everything else. Okay. Hello, everybody. So lovely to see everyone, and we're so excited to be doing our very first live stream here at Ruby. So we're going to give some people some time to get on, so just hang tight. Oh my goodness, we're live! Yay! All right, well, thank you everybody so much for joining us today. My name is Katie Hurst, and I am the Strategic Director of Communications here at Ruby, and I'm so excited to be introducing Anne-Marie and Amanda from our team who will be talking today all about chat. So Anne-Marie and Amanda, why don't you briefly introduce yourselves and just talk a little bit about your role at Ruby?
Yeah, my name's Anne-Marie. I'm one of our senior account executives on the sales team here. And Amanda and I actually started with what is now Ruby on the first day. So we've been with the chat product for a long time. We're excited to speak with you guys.
Yeah, and I am Amanda. I am our senior onboarding specialist, specifically for the chat product. So as Anne-Marie mentioned, we've been here a little bit over 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Focusing particularly on chat, at least for me.
Wonderful. Well, before we jump into all the questions and all things chat, why don't we start with a brief overview? And Anne-Marie, I'd love if you could kind of go through what is chat? What is this thing we're talking about today?
Yeah, great question. So if you have not had chat on your website before, just to describe it, it's the little chat boxes that will pop up usually in the lower right-hand screen. And the purpose of chat is really to help capitalize on your web traffic. So just like you wouldn't ignore somebody if they walked into your brick and mortar office or store, your website is essentially your virtual office. And so in the same sense, if somebody's there, they're not just there for fun, they're there for a reason. And so chat is a really great way to capitalize on that web traffic, engage with anyone that's there, and greet them to try to get them engaged with your business.
Awesome. And to help illustrate her wonderful overview, here are a couple of examples of what chat looks like. So that was an example of a home services business. And so now we're going to show an orthodontist and what a chat might look like for them. So you can see that that person is an amazing typist and types like 120 minutes. But that's an example of how it works in that Ruby really is providing that personalized response to the person's question. You saw with the orthodontist, they were asking about the wire on their son's teeth. The home services was asking about AC. And so it's a great way to connect with customers in real time. So we're going to start getting into questions. So I would invite you all who are watching to feel free to post your questions in the comments below, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, and we'll address those as they come along. We also have a couple of questions that we most commonly get asked by new folks interested in chat. So we'll go ahead and get started with a few of those while you folks are thinking about what you'd like to ask. So first, what is live chat and why do I need it? So Anne-Marie, this seems like a great one for you to kick off with.
Yeah, great question. So kind of going back to that visual image that we had a moment ago, live chat is unique in the sense that there's no automation involved. So it's all real live representatives that are on the other side of that chat screen that are available 24/7, 365 to engage with anyone who comes to your website. We can answer basic questions, and very specifically, it's a very good lead generation tool. What we found is that with Ruby chats on our clients' websites, we typically see about a 40% increase in web leads, just by offering a very, easy, on-demand, simplistic way for people to engage with your business right away.
Awesome. I think it's a really great example of how web chat is used to be able to get those visitors that are on your site. So moving on to another common question that we get, which is, what are the types of chats that people see? So Amanda, you would be a really good one to chat through some of those.
So just like your website attracts different groups of people, so say your potential new customers or even your existing customers or maybe even job seekers, your chat window will do the same. So what we do is we categorize those chats accordingly for your convenience. So you can see quickly at a glance the breakdown of your chat engagements. But that said, there's no difference in the quality of chat between a potential new customer chat or a recruitment chat. Our chat specialists are trained to take each chat with the same amount of responsibility and professionalism, regardless of what that visitor is specifically looking for on your website.
Yeah, so different visitors, but you're going to get a same consistent quality experience.
Yeah, the Ruby brand, definitely.
Yes, yes. And so, it looks like we've got one question. Oh, Jackson, that is a great question, and we'll be getting to that in 1 second. So thank you so much for that one. Another one we often get, I can get something free from my website host or marketing platform. Why use Ruby chats instead of Autobots? Anne-Marie, why don't you go ahead and answer that question?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Specifically with Autobots, they'll often ask you to give like some information before you start chatting with them. So there's just like a very possible slight barrier to engaging with that initial conversation. And additionally, with live chat, when you have a real person on the other line, you're able to engage with the nuance of the question. So every now and then you'll have someone that types something and a bot might say, oh, I didn't quite get that. And with a person, we can in an interpersonal and professional way, answer that question, make sure that we address it right on the nose. And we actually do find that 79% of customers that have engaged with chat do prefer live chat as opposed to bots. So it's just a way at Ruby, we're all about creating meaningful connections with people that are reaching out to you. And so it's just a really good way to make it meaningful, personable, and creating those connections.
All right, thank you so much for that way of explaining why our chat is a little bit different than something you may get for free from another provider. So let's go to Jackson's question, which Jackson is asking about how chat complements the call answering service. So he's considering signing up for our service and wants to know what are some ways that chat works alongside the Ruby service. So let's go ahead and Anne-Marie, if you wouldn't mind taking that one for us.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And just to reiterate kind of what I said a moment ago, Ruby offers two services. So we are able to answer your phone calls and we can engage with your web visitors through chat. In both instances, we're accomplishing a similar tactic. We're able to make sure that your front line of defense is there 24/7, 365. So some people that go to your website, especially if it's their first time, maybe they're just shopping around. They're not really sure if they want to call you or not yet. Chat can be just a really non-threatening, simple way for them to engage. And maybe more of your existing clientele tends to call you on the phone. So they work very synergistically together, chat and receptionist service, and they accomplish a similar goal. Does that make sense?
Yes. And Jackson did have a follow-up, which is that he's a franchisee and might not be possible as he doesn't run the website. That sounds like a question that maybe, Jackson, we want to follow up with you afterwards. Amanda does have some specific things that we could do to work through that potential problem. Amanda, I spoke for you, but if there's anything you want to add to that.
Absolutely.
So Jackson, I hope that that answered your question, but feel free to continue to ask follow-up questions in our comment section. So let's go ahead and look at some ways that chat can be used on the site. So I think, let's see, Amanda, why don't you go ahead and answer that question?
It's a good question. And there are no easy answer, because there's a number of ways, maybe an infinite number of ways in which you can leverage chat on your website to accomplish your particular goals. So kind of pointing back to Anne Marie's metaphor of a brick and mortar store, just like you have an associate in your store greeting somebody as soon as they walk in the door, that's a great way to leverage chat, just to preemptively offer assistance in kind of a non-threatening way, or just a very friendly way. Another way, of course, would be to put it on particular pages. So maybe you are just trying to drive engagement to one particular page, maybe your careers page. You can utilize it on particular pages. I know something super top of mind for everybody right now is COVID, of course. And a great way to use chat is to share your protocols actually preemptively. We can include it in the first message, or we can give special instructions to our chat specialists about what you guys are doing to keep your customers safe. But I think one of the greatest ways, or the greatest assets that our chat offers is the fact that we're 24/7. So at 2 a.m., our chat specialists are there to help your customers with your after hours procedures, or if they're facing an emergency, we're there to talk with them and to get them to the right place. So those are just a few ways in which you can leverage chat just to meet your particular business's goals.
Yeah, and I think something that's interesting to that point is that just like people are coming to your site for different things, customers expect personalized experiences.
Oh,
so if they're on
definitely.
the pricing page of your website, they're going to have different questions than perhaps the homepage. And there's ways to be able to customize that chat to account for that visit on certain pages. So something to keep in mind, small business owners, is this is a great way to personalize the experience without extra work on your part, which is what we're really trying to achieve, is reducing that burden on you. So let's go ahead and keep moving on with some more questions. And again, feel free to add them into the comment section as you follow us. Anne Marie, I feel like we've neglected you a little bit. So could you talk through what are some ways that chat can help a business?
Yeah, great question. And essentially, anyone who's listening, if you are spending any sort of money on marketing, SEO, Google AdWords, anything in this realm at all, you absolutely need chat. Period. End of conversation. If you're spending money to get people to come to your website, you want to capitalize on that opportunity. We have live agents available to engage with that web traffic to make sure that they're not just going to your page, looking around, going back, and going to the next Google listing. We'll get them engaged for you guys. Specifically, actually 66% of your customers expect on-demand engagement. So we're definitely able to provide that through live chat. And 42% of your customers prefer live chat as an initial method of reaching out to you. Like I mentioned earlier, as opposed to a phone call, if it's the first time they're contacting you, they would prefer to do it through chat. So just as a couple of statistics as a reference point, those are huge. And then beyond that, I mean, we can answer basic questions, definitely generate leads, and offer 24/7 support around the clock for you guys.
I am just following up with Jackson to make sure that he has what he needs. Jackson, I appreciate that you're being so active and engaged with this, and that you're caring so much about the experience of your website visitors. So let's move into some technical pieces. I have a contact us form and a phone number on my site. Why should I add chat if people can ask questions that way? And I think that this would be a really good question for Amanda.
That's a good one. We have found that users are considerably more likely to engage with live chat versus a contact us form for a number of reasons. I think the first of which being that they know intuitively, if I reach out to a contact us form, that could maybe take hours, possibly even days to get a response from. Whereas if I engage with a live chat feature, I'm getting a response immediately. And this is also a great way for potential customers to learn a little bit more about your business. They can ask, do you service my area? And the added benefit of that for you on the flip side is that your inbox isn't filled with contact us form emails that say, hey, do you service my area? The only thing in your inbox is messages from us for customers that are already qualified and ready to go.
Yeah, and I think one thing I want to point out, I'll take a little break from questions. Amanda and Anne-Marie have both brought up these points of instant answers, reducing the burden on you, converting more visitors on your website, and really making your website into the virtual front door of your business. If you're looking for more information about why chat is become more popular and how customers are really relying more on these types of experiences when they're searching for a solution, we have a wonderful guide called The Rise of Chat. It's available at the link below. Just go ahead and plug that in. It's available for download and is a great way to learn more about what are the customer expectations and why chat is a great tool to be able to use to respond in that real time without putting unnecessary strain on your business. Because we know everybody is, a little bit short-staffed, having to do a lot with very little, and there are things that we can do to certainly help ease that. So continuing on with our questions, and actually Jackson had a great one already with the answering my phone. I think it'd be great to talk a little bit about the specifics, maybe not specifics, but Amanda, I know that one of the questions we get a lot is how hard is this to install?
Yes, something we get a lot and something that used to terrify me. I used to be so afraid that I would break an entire website with one wrong click. However, luckily in practice, that has not been the case. It's not hard at all to install code, and actually alongside the code, we will include a platform specific guide for how to add code to your particular website. So whether you have WordPress or Squarespace, you'll have step-by-step instructions on how to install that. But of course, our team is here and happy to help install. We want to make sure that you're taken care of, so we can certainly install the code for you in no time to help out.
And then similarly, a common question we get asked is how do people get alerted about chat? So, if we're following up with a lead, if there's someone who's really hot to trot, so to speak,
Yeah.
What are some ways that our customers and those folks who are interacting with the website can get alerted to that type of information?
So there are two primary ways in which you will be alerted, and they actually work in conjunction with one another. So the first way is via an email transcript. And what I really love about these emails is that there's a broken down kind of at a glance section. So you can see this is the customer's name, phone number, and this is what they're looking for. So if you're kind of in a hurry and just quickly checking your emails, you're ready to go. You've got their information, you've got what you need. However, if you want more information, the entire transcript is beneath it. So if you want to see how the actual entire conversation went, it's right there and accessible for you. So I found that to be really beneficial for people that have a little bit more time or people that are ready to go. And the other way that we alert you to new chats is an opt-in feature that works alongside that transcript forwarding, where we will actually warm transfer new leads directly to your office. So during business hours, we will call those leads that we're just chatting in, we'll identify ourselves with your office, and then we will get them right over to you. This just ensures that you are getting your new leads as quickly as possible, because we found that the longer you wait in between that interaction and following up with them or getting them on the phone, it impacts the conversion rate considerably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if someone's on your website, might as well get to them as quickly as you possibly
Definitely.
can. And that's where the chat and the call together, which is really Ruby's service, is that virtual reception plus the chat can be very beneficial to getting that person into your door, your virtual door, very quickly. So I'm going to open it up again, make sure people have a chance to ask their questions and learn about all things chat. But if not, Anne-Marie and Amanda, I'd love to kind of ask you if there's one thing you wish that small business owners would take away from this conversation. And I know that you guys are passionate about helping small business owners be successful. What is the one thing you wish that they could take away from this? Anne-Marie, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, sure. Gosh, so many things, but I think top of mind would be if you are spending any money at all on marketing, SEO, or Google AdWords, like you absolutely need chat on your site because
you took mine.
You don't want to throw away that opportunity. And I think that would be the first thing. And then, yeah, we would just love to create a great first impression for your business. It would be our honor and our privilege. And we love the small businesses that we have the pleasure of working with. We'd love you to join the family.
Amanda, anything to add to that?
That's great. I definitely want to reiterate that, of course, with underscoring that it is 2020. This year has been super unprecedented. And while I think we were already traveling towards kind of the importance of live chat, I think this year has really, really shown how fundamentally it can benefit your business, and how quickly we've kind of transitioned to a little bit more internet-based commerce and business models. So all that to say, get chat. You need chat.
And that is a great way to end our first ever live stream talking about all things chat. So if you have any questions that we did not answer about chat, or if you'd like to learn more and share some of your personal goals for your website and for your business, you can visit us at rouxbe.com. We can also reach out to us directly through our phone number, 844-311-7829. And of course, don't forget to grab our guide about all things chat, bit.ly /Ruby-chat-guide. And thank you very much, Anne-Marie and Amanda, for being that amazing resource for us today and for sharing all of your passion and excitement around chat. Thank you, everyone who participated, and we hope that we can help your virtual front door become awash with as many customers as possible and making sure that they get all of their questions answered. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.